highways and byways again this week. And this week, very important message because the devil keep frying our phones back to back, back to back. So hopefully you'll be getting this message. And this is Psalms 101, verse 2. It says, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. That's right. Doing this work, it gets frustrating over time because the sweet becomes bitter. And, you know, you want the Lord to deliver you. You want this nightmare over as fast as possible. But it just don't work that way. All you can do is be loyal and stay true. Watch what you do, all right? Because this is your walk, and this is your race that you're running for the election. It's your boy, the Wise One, from the Wiseonesfam, trying to push out a wise vibration. Because I'm tired of this world on that stupid shit. Shalom.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. When I say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakah Kwadash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwati, my children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This lesson is hopefully to be encouraging, edifying, and also to mark what I believe was a perfect man. All right. You have certain brothers in this truth that may go unnoticed. All right. You have some brothers in this truth that go that are noticed, but the ones that go unnoticed, they show up on this earth, do their work, affect those that are around them or that come in contact with them, and then they transition into the spirit world, come to this earth, do the Lord's will, go back to the Father. All right, perfect examples of that are Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Zechariah, Zephaniah. All these different prophets were sent at very important times in Israel's history. And after their job was done, the Lord took those people away, back to himself. All right. So this brother here, Wise One, he went by the name Wise One. All right. I didn't know his name in the Hebrew, but we talked a few times, multiple times, and it was just to encourage each other to stay in the faith, to continue to the end of our journey. All right. So, and I saw him out there with his son, and their diligence and their sincerity that he left behind with his son, man, that's like priceless right there. That's our goal. That's the goal, man. All right, you can get all the riches in the world, whatever all the women, but you go out there and be rebuking people. Let that be your goal, or your goal could be to edify and to build up and to leave behind, or continuing the journey with those that you affect with the Lord's Spirit, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and His truth. And that little young brother that was standing next to basically his son, you could tell his dedication to not only the truth but also to his father. And it's like a movie where you see somebody pass on and their son continues in that journey. It's a beautiful story, man. It's all written. But without further ado, I got a lot of scriptures coming to my mind, But let me bring this out. This is Psalms 37 and 34. Wait on the Lord. Wait on Yahweh. And keep his way. All right? Don't start falling into this world, falling into the system. Keep the Lord's way. And he shall exalt thee to inherit the land, man. And he's going to exalt us someday to inherit that land. It's going to happen. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it, man. See that? So those that continued in this truth, even the ones that are in the spirit world, they're going to be here to see Esau be cut off. They're going to be with Yahweh Shai. All right? Even Job said it. Though I pass on and this body be given to the worms, he said he know with his own eyes he's going to see the Lord standing on the earth someday, his Redeemer, to be redeemed. And in the midst of redeeming Israel, the Lord's going to destroy Esau. And the scriptures say the Lord's going to bring those brothers that have passed on and transitioned into the spirit world, he's going to bring them with him. So they're going to see it. All right, the downfall of the wicked. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. All right. Let me get this real quick. It says, mark the perfect man, and behold the upright. All right. So that's what this video is to do, to mark the perfect man, the example of what we want to be. All right. Continuing in diligence. And people like Apostle Tahar, that's a perfect example. The scriptures say, grow old in thy work. Right? And that's just it, continuing. So mark the perfect man. You also mark those that cause divisions according to the doctrines which we learned as well. But we also have to mark the perfect man, And this brother, I believe, was perfect in the spirit. He was stepping into the faith, moving towards being out in the highways and byways, in the highways and byways, we don't really deal with like literally the highway or the byway, but just saying highways and byways where a lot of people are traveling, all right, walking back and forth. So this brother was out there with his son, and he was seemingly crippled, man. And this brother was so sincere, man. I remember he put up a video to inspire everyone that believes, and he showed himself walking. Took a few steps, and I'm sure a lot of you brothers that knew this brother, Wiseonesfam, or Wise One, you saw him standing up and walking, and he was like, yo, through the Spirit of the Lord, I'm able to do this. And he did a little bit, and that was encouraging, man. All right, so he was definitely a sincere brother, and of course, I believe we need more people like him in this truth. All right. And it says here, mark the perfect man, yo. So even though he seemed broken physically, he was perfect in the Lord's eyes. Just like a lot of us, we may seem broken to people around us. We may just seem broke, with no money. But to the Lord, we're perfect. You got to remember that. Your wife might be against you. Your job might be against you. But just remember, and this world is against you. You might even have brothers against you. But just remember, the Lord said you're perfect, man. All right, as long as you're continuing in the faith, staying diligent, grounded, rooted, built up. All right. It says, behold the upright. Okay, so watch the ones that are upright in spirit. For the end of that man is peace, man. Whew. So that brother's in peace. You know, he transitioned to the spirit world. And that brother's in peace, you know. And this can also be healing for his family to understand. Because through understanding, we gain healing. And through understanding, we should know that this man is in peace. Just like we will all be in peace. All right? But for the end of that man, that physical body in this matrix is peace, man. Meaning his spirit is in peace in the Lord's presence. Crazy, right? The end of that man is peace, period. All right? This is Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And that really happened 2,000 years ago. All right, this prophecy already happened. But yeah, they're going to cast some of our people in prison. You know that ain't the truth. All right, but on a mass scale, like all the churches, you know, a lot of them that happened 2,000 years ago. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful, right? This is the goal, to be faithful unto death. And I will give thee a crown of life, man. So to pass on and to transition while you're in the truth, the Lord going to give you a crown of life when he, like Paul said, he said, from henceforth is laid up a crown of life. When he knew his life was, when his physical life was about to end. But that crown of life means to be immortal and righteous and made perfect, being perfected. Like that brother out there, I think in Jamaica, GMS Jamaica, I could be, you know, from wrong, Salakia. But I remember a video of one of their members transitioning into the spirit world. And one of the brothers had a dream. And that brother met him in the dream, allegedly, you know. And he told him, hey, I've been perfected. I have been perfected. Think about that. All right, and that's according to scripture. The Lord said, those that die in this truth, they're going to get theirs first. All right. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 3:1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh. All right. Your soul, man. Your whole character. Not just your spirit. But your soul. When spirit and body comes together, it creates a soul. All right. Your character and everything. You know. But other than that, you just have a spirit as itself, and then you have the body. But together, it's a soul. All right, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. It's deep. So it would be unwise to think that he's dead, because he's not. He just transitioned. So he's not dead. He's very much alive. And in the sight of the unwise, they seemed to die, and their departure is taken for misery, right? Because you miss people, and become selfish. You want people to stay here with you, but really they were suffering. All right. So it's better. The Lord said, "What? Mourn 7 days and let them go," because they wouldn't want to come back here anyway. It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. All right, just these physical eyes, what you see. We can't see into the spirit world. And their departure is taken for misery. And they're going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. Peace. Whatever peace is, man, I might do a lesson on that. Peace, that's what we're looking for. All right. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Because somebody was crippled, that don't mean they're being punished. Because the scriptures say, who sinned, this man or their parents? And the Lord said, it's not about that. It's about those being sick, those being crippled or whatever, those being injured, so the Lord can show his power in healing that person or in saving that person's soul. And those individuals get to experience the reward, man. Like my mother, she could barely walk, but I know she's in the spirit world and she's not feeling that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, man. So that man's going to be greatly rewarded according to the Lord's words. If he was of the elect, which I believe. You know, you tell the remnants of a man about what he left behind. You know? And they shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. All right. So that's why, you know, we can't be with each other always, except, you know, definitely in the kingdom. But the Lord found the hopeful elect worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, the furnace of affliction, adversity, and received them as burnt offerings. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. So they can be flying, glowing, like sparks all over the fire, all over the stubble, burning it up. These gonna be the elect. Whatever condition we was in this society, we all gonna be exalted and glorified in the kingdom, made perfect. All right. And they shall judge the nations. All right. So this brother here, if he was of the elect, he's gonna be one of those judges. And have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. And that's doing his work. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect, man. All right. 2 Timothy 4:1. I charge thee therefore before Yahweh and Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Who does that mean? The living and the dead, meaning the spiritual dead, meaning like these heathens in 2/3. And he's also going to judge the elect of Israel who have life, you know, meaning through the spirit. So he's going to judge the quick and the dead at his appearing, man. All right. So it says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine, man. So that's our goal in this truth, to preach the word. And that's what this man was doing. He was preaching the word, and he was with his son. And if nobody in the world heard him, his son did. And brothers like me, we see you, we saw him. You know, we got to see each other and not be respecters of men, respecters of persons. You know, just because somebody else is praising another person over here and all this, you got to see the ones that's in the corners, that's in the shallows, and lift them up. You know, encourage them. Let them know you see them. So, but if not, the Lord has backup plans. That's part of the reason for the churches. You know, you had brothers, and then you had those around them. that became the fruit of that tree. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. And what happened with fruit? The seed that was planted within that fruit continues on. All right. The seed that came from the tree became a fruit, and it continues on. It becomes another tree. It says reprove, rebuke, meaning blame, and also rebuke, with the scriptures. Exhort with all long suffering, meaning continuing all the way to the end, and suffering our people really. And doctrine, so continuing the same doctrine, all right? For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, right? They want the fame and the glamour. That's what Jake wants. They don't want simple men just teaching out on the streets. May have your son with you, at an old age. Out there wearing garments, just teaching. They don't want that. They don't want just the truth. They want a song and a dance, hooting and hollering. It says, and they shall turn their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. So our people are turned unto fables and away from the truth. But watch thou in all things, meaning being watchers. Endure affliction, see? That's the affliction, right? The furnace of adversity and affliction. That's the fire. Do the work of an evangelist. Make full proof of thy ministry. For I am ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. It's talking about Paul. I have fought a good fight, and that's what this man was saying. He has fought a good fight. That's one of the last things I told him. I said, stay strong, man. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. That's the goal, to finish our course, man. Everything else is vanity. But to finish our course on this earth in these bodies. It says what? I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness. All right, so Paul is back here today to get that crown. Paul is on the earth. All right, so it's laid up for him in these times to be in this truth so he can be delivered. So those that have passed and transitioned now, they're getting that crown. Which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing, man. All right, so they're already with the Lord, receiving righteous garments, probably got the new bodies. But in that day, they're going to get the crown, the badge of royalty, the crown of righteousness, also those new bodies in general. All right, this is Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that was slain for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony which they held. All right, so the same ones that were slain 2,000 years ago, they're back here today. And the altar is this work, all right, and Yahushua. Now it says here, they cried with a loud voice, how long, O Lord? So the spirits that are in the heavens and upon earth are crying to the Lord. How long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? All right, the same ones that have slain us and killed us 2,000 years ago, they aim to do that again. And And each time my spirit goes into the spirit world, just like Abel, his blood cried out, the souls of the righteous cry out to the Father. All right, that's what that meant. Not that only his blood was noticed by Yahweh, but that his spirit was crying out to the Father in the heavens. Abel, verse 11, once he was killed by Cain. And white robes, what? And white robes were given unto every one of them. So the elect that are in the heavens, they getting their garments. White robes, being perfected, were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And that goes into 2,000 years ago. All right. And also in these times. All right. So those that are in the spirit world, they getting those white robes. And the scriptures say the white robes is the righteousness of the saints. So they're being perfected. Whole nother level. All right. 1 Thessalonians 4:13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren. So the Lord doesn't want us to be ignorant of this. Concerning them which are asleep. All right. So the bodies that are asleep and their spirit is in that dream state, basically in the spirit world, that ye sorrow not. See, don't cry over him. And people like him that are in the spirit world that passed on in the truth, even as others which have no hope. See, the ones that die and have no hope, and our hope is in Yahushua, so they die in darkness. That's who you sorrow for. But the ones that passed on in the truth, man, you should be overjoyed. And maybe sorry, you may be sad that you missed their presence. But their presence is in the presence of the Lord now. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him. So they're going to be with him, man. Man, he's with Yahushua. And he's going to be coming back with Yahushua to see the downfall of the wicked. He said, he promised him that. People like him. People like Abba Bivens, King Masha, Elder Yaquab, certain sisters that have passed in the truth. Right? Some of them members teaching this camp, so they know for a fact these sisters stayed diligent all the way until their last breath. So they're most likely part of Yahweh Ratazah, part of the elect as well. All right. What's his name? High Priest Bonloya. All right. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them which also sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him. So Yahushua gonna bring them with him, man. But they're in peace right now. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord. So this is true. That we which are alive and remain. So if you're alive, we're alive in that day and remain on this earth, unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. So you ain't gonna be able to get exalted first. They're gonna be exalted first and get their bodies, get that rulership, that anointing of being perfect. All right, being made immortal. But we all gonna get the crowns together. It's gonna be like a ceremony. All right. Now what Paul said, it not just him alone, but all those that wait for the appearing of the Lord. And according to 2 Ezra chapter 2, I think, or 3, it says all the elect are going to be there with Yahushua getting crowns upon their head. you know. So those that have, if you lost someone, you will see them again if you have the elect. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, with the voice of the trumpet, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. All right, and that word rise means to prepare for a journey. So when Yahushua rises up to come back and destroy this place, the elect gonna rise up with him in the spirit, and they're gonna come back with him. They're not gonna need to be put into the ground anymore. All right. Then, at that point, we which are alive and remain, so those that are alive on this earth and still on this earth in the bodies, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Skywalker. Forget Luke the Skywalker, Yahushua the Skywalker. We're going to meet him in the air, man. That's going to be our meeting place. In the sky. We got a meeting in the sky that we got to get to. However it happens. And so shall we ever be with the Lord, man. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. That's very comforting to know. In a world full of death, in a world full of people threatenings, in a world full of relation, in a world full of lies and darkness, and in a world full of science and paganism that don't believe in the soul and the spirit. Well, we have understanding, we have the truth, and we comfort one another with these words, with the Lord's words. All right, that the spirit doesn't die. The body is made from the ground, and it must return to that ground. We won't even take these bodies into the kingdom. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. We got to be made different. All right. Sirach 38 and 23. When the dead is at rest, see, once the body dies and the spirit leaves that body, let his remembrance rest. All right. So you begin to let that, your memory of that person kind of rest. That way you can focus too. Because what did King David say when his child died and the child was sick and dying? Everybody was mourning. King David was mourning and praying. But when the child finally died, people were shocked because King David didn't cry anymore. And they were wondering why. They asked him why. And he said, well, when the child is sick, that's the time to cry and be sad. When a person's suffering in the hospital bed, because you're praying to the Lord to, whatever his choice will be, to keep them with you or bring them through this or take their spirit. But once that happens, King David said, there's no reason to cry or mourn, because where that child is, there will King David be also, meaning we all die. So those people lacked understanding. But I watched my mother cry over my grandmother when she died. I mean, like really, really crying. And then she passed on, my mother too. So at some point you start to realize that that sadness and that crying is vain, it's vanity. Could we find a different way to think? Could we find a different way to be and switch our mind into joy and understanding, even in the process of dying? When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him. See, be comforted for that brother, to his family, and for anyone that we've lost, but they have gained in the spirit realm, what we hope to attain to, which is the presence of the Lord. When his spirit, it says what? And be comforted for him, not for yourself, but for that person. Like, you'll know that they are right. We still got to walk through the jungle. in the wilderness. And be comforted for him when his spirit is departed from him. All right, so once the spirit leaves that body, like be comforted over that person. All right, so his spirit, when his spirit is departed from him, so from that body, when that spirit left and went back to the Father, it said we fly away. Beautiful, man, almost poetic. It's a beautiful process. Because if not, we would live for eternity, and that wouldn't be righteous. Because Yahushua got to be the first one to have that immortality. And then us. So now we have a chance and a hope at being the first fruits to attain unto that immortality and righteousness. And then the rest of Israel. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right? And 2/3 like to wait till the last moment, last second, somebody dying, or they crying over the body, or a sick person or injured person, and they want to call on God with no knowledge, with no understanding. Right? But the Lord said, remember him now while the days are not, while you're able to move around and speak and are youthful, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? The politicians, the police, all the keepers of this place, America, the house of the thief, are going to tremble. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. No work. There's not going to be any employment out here. See, people just going, I want to just work and make this money. Just work, that's life. That's what life about. What happens when that stops? What life going to be about then? And those that look out of the windows be darkened. The doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, when the economy crashes and there's no work and lockdowns. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? Instead of your alarm clock, you're gonna wake up to the damn birds. Just like during the lockdown, you went outside, all you heard was quietness. You didn't hear no jackhammers, no cars, nothing. All you heard was birds. Like on the movies, man. First, a desert movie or wilderness or something with death or anything. First thing you hear is birds or crows and shit. And the grasshopper shall be a burden, right? Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, man. So, these nations gonna be afraid of these governments, and they're afraid of the things that are coming on the earth, and also the judgment of the Lord. And fears shall be in the way, right? When they look down America's path, or the path of these people upon this earth, all they see is destruction and death in the way. All right? Failure. That's the new American dream, is to be out of this damn hellhole America's in. And fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, meaning the prophecies are going to be flourishing. That's what time we in now. And that's going to be too late. The door is closing for people to turn to the Lord. And the grasshopper shall be a burden. I mean, the smallest thing can tilt the scale and make this place fall and cause anguish to the people. And desire shall fail, man. See, all the desires, I'm married, I'm get my ring and get these jobs and all that. So a lot of people's desires are failing. And get these fancy cars and all that. Starting to see that it's not important. When people are dying. Because man goeth to his long home, right? And the mourners go about the streets. Too much death on the earth, and people starting to see like, damn, this stuff ain't important on the earth that they're into. Chasing fame, or ever the silver cord be loosed, right? Just like a cord that holds the oil candles from the ceiling in ancient times. If they would cut that cord, if the Lord cuts your cord, or the golden bowl be broken, right? That bowl that it would be that was hanging from the ceiling would fall and shatter, and the oil would spill out, meaning the spirit would have to leave. Or the pitcher be broken at the cistern, right? So if you go to fill up your pitcher at a well of water or a cistern at a sink, and it got holes in it, meaning it's useless, just like the body. If it becomes sick, old, or damaged, or the wheel be broken at the cistern, man. All right, if you got a broken wheel and you try and get the damn water to work, the water ain't gonna run because the body's dead. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. All right, and that's fair. And the spirit shall return unto the Father who gave it. Right, unless a person, if they say if the person got exploded, blown up, and the last thing that was left was their damn arm. These damn pagans and Egyptians, they would believe that if it's a spirit, that the spirit is still in that arm. That's why they be kissing them damn Catholic foot. Those dead bodies and shit, they'll just have a damn foot and they'll soak it in the water and have people drink the water. Or they'll take Geronimo's head, skull and bones, and they'll put it in St. Augustine in a castle, and they believe it has powers to it. Or they'll take Nimrod, where you get the term from, Nimrod's obelisk, which would be his rod. His mother believed that had power, and that's what people began to worship it. Just like Esau used to do to us in slavery. They cut it off, and they believe it had power. But the Lord said, what? Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Father who gave it. See that? So the spirit separates from that body. It can't stay in that body, no parts of it. It got to be destroyed and remade over. And the Lord sends us back to reincarnation. All right, so to be of the elect, that process of reincarnation is going to be over. The bodies that we get in the future, they're going to be immortal. All right, and I say hopeful elect. Okay, so, all right, but the Lord has to have a way to separate us from these bodies. So he has to write a story for us, a beginning and an end. And some of us will be here, Yahweh Ratazah, to see the Lord's return. But either way, the elect are going to see his return. They're going to be with him, front row seats. Psalms 104 and 29. No. Yeah. Thou hidest thy face. Once the Lord turns his face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath. All right. So then what? They die and return to their dust. All right. So the body dies and the spirit, the body returns to the dust. And it said in the scripture, last scripture I read, that the spirit returns to the Father. But then what? Then thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created. See, the Lord calls that spirit back to him, and he sends it back to the earth, and the baby is created. And thou renewest the face of the earth. Now at that point, there's a new person upon the earth now. You don't remember things from the former life. You become a new creature, whole new individual, but the same spirit. All right? All right? Because when we come back to this earth, you don't remember. Because you're in a whole new brain, whole new damn suit. All right? Whole new cerebellum. When we born, the memories get stored right here. Sort of like the black box on the train. On the plane. Called this the cerebellum that leads to the cerebral cortex that stores the memory. And when we're born, the first thing we see that goes into the memory, and things we hear, everything with these senses. But before that, the spirit experienced those lives, you know. So Ecclesiastes 1 and 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after, man. All right, so we don't want to remember slavery or everything we went through. We remember the stories of it. So I ask myself at times, does my mother remember me in the spirit world? I don't really think so. Does the spirit know of their people? Yes. Upon the earth, suffering? Yes. But to remember, the scriptures say when a person dies, the love dies with them. Because, you know, so I believe they start a new journey. All right. In the right state of mind with the Lord, and that's the important part. You know? So it's all about the Lord. You gotta know that. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about Yahweh Shai, because that's where we're going. That's where we're from, and that's where we're going. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 19. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. I'm talking about these bodies. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, meaning we all breathing the same air. So that a man have no preeminence over a beast, for all is vanity. All right, so the difference between us is what? All go into one place. All are of the dust. I mean, all these bodies go back to the ground, even the animals. And all turn to the dust again. All right, even Esau, even though they won't let you believe that, but yeah, they died too. All right, they make you think they're immortal. What the hell? It says, who knoweth the spirit of a man? See, who really knows the spirit of a man? You say you know somebody, but the Lord knows those individuals. The Lord knows who we are, the spirit, who we were when he first created us. In the ancient times, before the earth began, he knew our spirit. Jeremiah, it says, before you were born, I knew you in your mother. Before you in your mother's womb, I knew you. So the Lord knows us. So who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward? So the spirit of man goes upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth. See, that's where the animals go. All right. Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works. So be thankful in this matrix for the works that the Lord gave us. And your family and the people around you that are in the same spirit. Be thankful of that. And some people get burdened by it instead of being thankful until it's too late. And they, oh, I love y'all. I just want to say I'm sorry. No, man, think about it now. Have that foresight to not be used, to know that there's little time, you know, to have someone disregarding you as a man, and you don't know whether to move on yet or not. Well, understanding life and death, that'll make you move on, because you'll realize we don't have that much time. Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be here after him? All right. So what I like to do is, it's kind of weird, but I like to, let me get the scripture first. All right, I like to look at videos from, I was born in 81. I like to look at videos and pictures from 1979, 1980, before I was born on this earth, because that's just humbling, because it lets me know that life can continue without me. So what am I going to do while I'm here to affect this life, this matrix, the people that are in it, the souls that are in those bodies in this matrix, to help them to continue to the next stage until we get immortality from the Lord, till we're made perfect. That's our goal. So I like to do that from time to time. I'll look at an old video of 1930s or something, really 1979, right before I was born, in the 1980s, and I'll see the sky, everything that people would want to see with their eyes. And I wonder what I was doing. You know, where was I at in the spirit? It's crazy, right? So Psalms 90 and 10. The days of our years are 70. 70 represents 60. All right, or 70. It says and 10. Usually it was 1,000 years, but it got reduced because of our sins down to 100. Then ultimately now it's like down to 70, 65, man. People just dropping off. Some younger than that. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, so by reason of being healthy and strength, you can continue to 80 years. Yet is their strength labor and sorrow. We get old, man. For it is soon cut off, and we fly away. All right, so that body gets cut off, or that string, the silver cord gets cut, spiritually speaking, and the body drops, and the spirit flies away. All right, so who knoweth the power of thine anger? Even according to thy fear, so is thy wrath. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. All right, and that's what this brother did. He numbered his days, and he applied his heart unto wisdom, and he taught his son in the truth. The scriptures say, raise up a child as they should go, and they shall not depart, man. It's beautiful, you know? So I hope this was edifying to any Akim, Akwatim that have lost loved ones, and to that family of Wiseones family. I pray that, and to his son, I pray that you continue in the truth, and maybe watch our videos and be edified, and continue. That's it, continue. That's what his father would want, for him to continue. All right. So, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.
Shalom. Out here on the highways and byways again this week. And this week, I want to bring out Proverbs chapter 11, verse 18 and verse 19. It says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Kanye West went all the way to the top of the mountain to see that money don't mean shit. But guess what? We, being the righteous children that we are, seeing the light and hearing the truth, went out there to the battlefield to do the Lord's work, to try to turn this wicked place around. I'm trying to tell you, man, you're richer than you realize. You got more money than you can dream of. And that's from your boy, the Wiseman. So keep pushing. And the other nations, they don't care about how they've done us. But guess what? Verse 19, as righteousness attendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth his own death. Hey, this is your boy, the Wiseman, from the Wiseonesfam, trying to push out a wise vibration, because I'm tired of this world on that stupid shit. Shalom.